Hey guys, this is Dan from Artistic Timberworks, aka Two Guys Timberframing. And today we're going to show you how to make some of the most common timber frame joints that you can cut on your sawmill to make precise, easy cuts for yourself. Now today we're going to start with, let's say, the easiest of the joints, and then we'll work up to a little bit more difficult. So right here what we have is if we were looking to do a lap joint. This is a very, very simple joint. You're usually going to be right in there at that 7-inch mark. It might be 8. Each person's building is going to be a little different, but the technique will not. It'll all be the same. So really all we do at this point, I got my saw set to the depth that I want. I'm going to cut. And then I come back to my saw. Now I'm set already at the depth that I want to be. So really all we need to do is get her up and running. Boom. It is just that simple. And you end up with a perfectly square, perfect joint. It's not going to take you all day chiseling and sanding. You saw that. In 2 seconds, there's a joint. Now, if you had to make a ton of these, just think how much time you're going to save when you use this. So we're going to throw up our next board, and we're going to get to the next cut that you're going to see. Okay, guys. Say you're looking to make a lap joint on your beams to sit across your posts. It's going to be as simple as this. I'm going to actually measure myself over at the 24, which is what I make my laps at. I'm going to actually mark my beam. There I go. I'm going to make my cut, which I've already preset to be at 6 inches. There we have it. We're ready to actually cut our lap. So I go back to my saw. Again, I'm already preset at the cut. There you have it, my friends. A perfect lap joint. Now, sometimes you don't just use a lap joint. What I use is I use a lap joint. I'm going to have myself a tab. I'm going to have myself a tenon sticking out here. So really, all we need to do is to mark our depth. Our depth of our tenon is going to be 4 inches. So I'm going to come around. I'm going to look for my square. That was the longest part of this. Okay, I know I'm making the 2-inch tenon and I've got a 6-inch board. Saw's already set to the depth that I need it to be. I make my first cut. I'm going to actually square around my board so I know what's going on here. I'm going to double check everything that we've got, which we are good. I'm going to make my second cut. Now this isn't pine, fellas. This is all oak that we use. So here we go. We're gonna cut the tabs right now. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna set my saw.
How's that crank working for you?
The crank is working okay for a hand model, but it would be nice if we had the pro. Now I'm going to move my board up to the 4 inches, which is going to give me a perfect 2-inch tenon, boys. And there you have it, your lap cuts. My friends, now you have yourself a perfect tenon, perfect shoulders, everything is square, and you're able to actually assemble this stuff a lot quicker, a lot easier because everything is straight and square. Okay guys, this is one of the most common joints that you're gonna find is just a standard tenon shouldered on top of a post. So what I normally do is we're using 5-inch tenons mostly on something like this. Give myself a square line all the way around and make sure that everything does gonna meet up. Okay, I'm gonna make my first cut. I'm already set at the depth that I need to be to make my tenon, which is just under 3 inches. Okay. I'm going to use my sawmill, as you see, to actually secure the log while you're making your cuts. It just holds everything in place. Now I have my second saw already cut because the second shoulder is only going to be 3/4 of an inch deep. Okay, I'm going to unclip. I'm going to roll it again. I'm going to clip it in place. I need to finish my square line. And we're perfect. Perfect where we want to be. I go back to my small saw. Excuse me, boys. Almost messed up. We go back to our big saw. That now has made our cut for our tenon. Lucky I caught that. One quick roll. Lock it back in. And we're going to finish the small shoulder. That's it, fellas. That's all that needs to be done for that. So really, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to start making my first cuts. So I'm making the small shoulder right now. I'm exactly where I want to be. Since I'm working alone today, I need to come back, unclip it, flip ourselves over for our tenon cut here. Let me give that one in. Okay, I know that my cut is going to be just under 3 inches. Boom. That's where I'm at. My second cut is going to be just under the 5 inches. I'm actually going to go heavy for the cut of the blade so that my tenon is right. need to go back for just one more flip. And we need to just cut the top shoulder. So I'm going to go back to my 7. It might be right, it's right there. So we might just have to finish. There you go. That's how you make perfectly square, perfect tenon all the time. Now say, fellas, okay, say you're looking and you have to make 50 of these things, 20 of these things, 10 of these things. You can actually cut these 3 at a time. If you have everything ready, you could stack all your wood, make all your cuts in each individual piece. We find that to be pretty simple for us. Now say, we're back, friends, and this beam actually needs to get a pocket put into it. Maybe we got a beam coming in somewhere. So basically, if I've already got it up on my mill, I'll get up here, I'll mark whatever I'm looking to do, or whatever my measurements are. And I'm going to actually, this is the pocket where it needs to be on your project, excuse me. And then I set my saw. We're doing a 1-inch depth. So I know what's happening. I cut. I'll actually come back and get my finish cut here as well. Now I'm just going to run a series here, enough for me to get my chisel in so that I can come in and recess this blade and make the finished cut. So that's really all you need to do to get your depth. I'm going to need to get my chisel. And all we're going to be doing here is cleaning out this channel so that we can get the blade set at the proper depth. I mean, it's either that or you're going to do this process for this whole length here. Now, while it's up on your sawmill, it's just as easy to get it done right here, right now. That's all I'm doing is I'm cleaning out my pocket, which you'd have to do anyway. These little guys are going to be stubborn for us today. Now just imagine if you were doing this throughout this whole board here. We're only doing 1.5 inches. So there we go. Pocket's ready. I'm gonna just check my measurement so I know what's going on with my saw. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come up. We're gonna go over our beam. We're gonna bring her down into the pocket. And that's where we should be. So that, while you have it up on your sawmill, there's a simple, easy way for you to get a square pocket, get your tenons all square, and really, it's the simplest, fastest way. I mean, just think if you had 20, 30, 40 of these to make, how much time you're gonna save, how accurately that cuts. Okay, guys. Let's say I've got to make a tenon on the opposite end of the post that I'm working on. Now this is a small one. It's not really for a project. We're just cutting these for you. But we actually will do 10, 12, 16 footers. And we actually use the super winch system. And if you're out here working alone, all you really need to do is cradle your log. I'm gonna get that hooked up for you. Okay. And really all we're gonna do is we're gonna pick this thing up. I know, it's coming down. And we just actually give it a spin. Usually do that a hair better, but there you go. So we don't have to do too much weight. Our stuff is oak, so even this little piece is heavy after doing them all day long. So there you go. Little tip on just moving your stuff around using the super winch system. Okay, guys. Let's just say, all right, let's just say we've got to make 3 shoulder cuts on the top of this beam because we're going to have intersecting floor joists, maybe even at different heights. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to give us a 12-inch. And on this side, we're going to run us a 10-inch. So we've got a 12-inch beam structure falling here and a 10-inch beam structure falling there. So there we go. Got that all locked into place. I square off what I'm looking to do. Okay, we'll get around to the other 12 when we flip it. But there we have it. I've got my saw set. We're doing 1-inch pockets again. Cut. Simple as that. I'm gonna flip my beam. There you go. And now I've got to do where my 10-inch is actually going to fit. I'm going to square check our pockets over. Here we go. That's going to be for our other 12-inch piece that we need. So I flipped it. There we go. I get my saw. Make one more cut. Boom. It's as easy as that. Now, you could consider yourself hey, I'm just gonna cut these off, I need a shoulder. You wanna get a little bit more complicated? Let's put a top spline in the piece. So let's just say we've got a 5-inch spline that we're gonna use. I'm gonna make my squares. I'm gonna bring it around to the other side. There we go. Now maybe we're doing a 2-inch spline here in the middle. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to find my centers, which we really know what that's going to be. We're going to be right here, and we're going to be right here. And that's going to give us our 2-inch opening that we need. That's it. I'm going to take my tenon gauge, just because I have one. I'm going to mark out exactly where I was. I'm going to check my square. Everything is good. Okay, so there's where our spline's actually going to be falling into. So this can be done in a couple of different ways before you do your sawmill. You can actually make your cuts with the saw, bring it back to the table, use your Forester bit and drill yourself out to the end and chisel off the corner. We actually use a chain mortiser. It makes our pocket really strong. I use it. We've actually chain mortised in our hole that we've got going on here. And we are just about 7 inches deep. Okay. Fellas, so what we're actually gonna do right now is I've got this already clamped. We know we need to start making our shoulder cuts. I'm just gonna double check my measurements. I know exactly where I'm at. Come back over to my saw. Set what I'm looking for. And here we go. Okay, since I'm working alone today, flipping this off, locking it down, maybe. We're gonna do the same thing again. I'm actually gonna lock this down. Heard Jason laughing. I'd be yelling at him if we didn't do it right. So here we go. We're doing it right, fellas. We're doing it right. We're coming back in. Boom. Shoulder cut number 2. Done. I've got saw. They really got these babies tied at Woodland Mills. So here we go again. Last shoulder cut. Okay, folks, there we have it. Our mortiser was deep enough to get to the 7 inches, so we didn't need to flip it. But here we go. Last cut, fellas. Gonna lock me into place. Woodland Mills. Okay, double checking my measurements. And here we go, fellas. Yep, you're seeing it. You see what's happening. And there you go, fellas. That's how you make 3 shoulders, a spline cut, coming into a different beam, your tenon edge, and look, of course, who doesn't have pockets? We got pockets all the time. Straight, smooth, easy. Just think about it. If you really needed to make a bunch of these, I mean, just one, you can cut it out, sand it. We make these dozens at a time. Simple, my friends, simple. You can actually timber frame like a pro. Use your Woodland Mills mill, a little bit of what we taught you, everything will be perfect.